You're making some pretty good points, SWTOR, bro. We all know how you feel. We all know. Also, yes, I am ill, so if I sound nasally, it's because I'm ill. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. Looks like today we will be covering the... We're going to watch the 7.2 Devstream, and we will react to it as it goes. You sound more manly. Love it. I'll take it as a compliment. I just sound like an ill Valkorian, I guess. What's up, everybody? Nike Forest, Charlie, This City, Liam, Zergal, Samuel. Hope y'all are good. Mighty Freedom, welcome. You too, Raymond. Yeah. If it's pre-recorded, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh a lot. So, I think we've got about 10 minutes until this thing starts. So we need to kill 10 minutes. I will do a like proper cut version of the stream and make sure it stays up on the channel for everybody to watch after. Again, sorry if I sound like shit. I'm probably gonna like not pronounce words very good tonight. Why do you have the feeling it's gonna be a cringe fest? It probably will be. Sup, Darkra? Randa Cheese. Hello, 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 hello. Let's go check out the fleet. See what's going on. Hopefully some good news for the game. Hopefully. I just want some more story. Not gonna lie. I don't care about anything multiplayer anymore. Just give me more story. Please. I play on Darth Maul's server. Yeah, SWTOR, bro. That guy's a comedian. Yeah, more story. I don't think that the devs actually realised that they could genuinely sell 2, 3, 4 hours worth of story for between 10 and 15 bucks. I don't think that they realised that they could do that. And then they don't. Because they don't like change. They'd rather just charge you the sub-model and get nothing in return for it. Hey, DOC, we need it back. We seriously need it back. 36-hour storyline, that would be mega. Like a new 1 to 50. Be pretty insane. I am indeed on the fleet right now. You're welcome to come invade the camera space. I don't have nameplates turned on though, so let me turn them on. Nameplates for friendly players. There we go. There we go, now you can see the nameplates on screen. Be at least 10 hour story and 2 to 3 flashpoints, 2 daily areas for 35 bucks expansion. I kind of agree with that, SWTOR, bro. But that's like, that's the typical MMO direction. And BioWare doesn't do that. Which would be fine, but what they offer in exchange is just absolutely horrendous right now. I would take KOTOR over this any day. Your KOTOR? Nice. Nice, nice. I think I saw you. This guy's rolling around in my favourite mount. Hell yeah. And before we only get 15 second story, they'd be like, psych, see you in 2024. Could you imagine Zeta Musko just starts to stream and is like, alright, we've been working really hard in 2022 So we're going to take a full year off. Well, now I'm expecting them to say that. I don't blame you, Dark Crow. I was recently forced to subscribe again because this game keeps shooting me in the ass when it comes to recording certain things that I need. Grease lightning. You insult me, Durgu. You insult me. We're so excited to bring you guys more content. I would welcome paid DLC again. I remember all the buzz around Shadow of Revan feels like a lifetime ago. Yeah. Yep. I remember logging in when Shadow of Revan launched and there was so many lags. Especially on Rishi. It was like almost unplayable. It probably was unplayable for a lot of people. The good old times. That's it, I'm YouTube famous. Time to leave the wife and get a job in social media. That's it, Liam. See, that's the motivation right there. I can see you with 1 million subscribers in at least 60 years. At least. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't leave your wife. Jesus Christ. You hope it's not going to continue the mystery of Darth Nul. I can almost guarantee you it's going to continue the mystery of Darth Nul. Darth Nul is like the new enemy. Darth Nul will be the enemy all the way until the end of like 7.9, until they set up something new for the next expansion. If we're that lucky, right? He was looking for an excuse. Jesus Christ. They would say that though, Zetago. They totally would say that. Lana is the enemy, even though Shadow of Revan was much darker than we're getting now. It's actually darker, much better than what we were getting now. It wasn't a proper expansion in my eyes. Yeah, to be fair, Daniel, like, some people have said that before. Also, welcome back, man. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, looks like they started. Alright. I'm gonna log out of the game, because I no longer need the game open. I'll put the Twitch link in the chat if anybody wants to actually go watch it, watch it. But you're welcome to chill here. Hey, what's up, Harvey? How often do I play SWTOR now? Really, not often. I'm typically only logging in when I need to record something for a video. But that's fine. I got a lot of content to make, so... Yeah, I don't really play anymore, not unless there's new stuff, which isn't often. That would be one way of doing it, Daniel. It's just, we already know that they can't really do anything to improve the performance of the game or like upgrade the engine or anything, which I know is what some people are expecting to happen with some kind of refurb. But it's just not realistic. Even from the mouth of the devs themselves, they've said it. Gotta show the trailer since that's where all the money went. True, true, true. Alright, SWTOR, bro. No worries, man. No worries, no worries.
Give it to me.
You could have saved my brother.
A new species? Hmm.
Was I chosen by the Force? Or you?
Now's not the time.
Do you know what it is your master just destroyed?
I actually haven't done the new raid yet.
Machine built to find those the Jedi didn't deem worthy.
Silence! Give it to me. Now, Padawan.
It's not too late.
We don't mind you saying that word in the chat, Emmanuel, as long as you're not, like, obviously saying it towards someone else. I think in the context you've been using it so far, it's probably fine. And I'm not about to ask you what your ethnicity is or anything, because I really don't care. So, with that in mind, that's it.
Very well.
Sahar,
Yeah, might have.
I'm
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's kind of true, this city. Oh no, Emmanuel, like, you don't need to apologize for anything. You've done nothing wrong. You won't get the new raid unless you're a guild that's ran it. You underestimate my power. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That's probably true. Some people don't want certain people to join. Unfortunately for someone like me, it would be quite easy to get into a raid, which I find to be a gift and a curse. I don't really have any incentive to do that though. I've done raiding in this game, I've got the achievements I wanted. Done my favourite content. Don't need a new operation. I need new story. Alright, I'll turn this up a bit.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Star Wars The Old Republic 7.2 game update livestream.
Let me know if this is too quiet or too loud.
Community manager.
Eric Musco, lead game producer.
Yeah, we're back.
We are back.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh man, we've been so ready to talk about 7.2 for a long time. I'm sure just as much as you've been ready to hear about it. So we're going to tell you the whole thing.
Yeah. Before we get into the agenda for today, a couple of things to note. Just like with the 7.1 live stream, we're trying out some new things. So you're going to be seeing some familiar faces today. You're also going to be hearing from some unfamiliar faces. There's going to be a couple of devs who will be making an appearance.
Don't have a verified account to chat in here.
In the office with us right now, so they're going to have pre-recorded videos. So just as a heads up. And then also, like, if I tend to kind of like look this way a little bit, I'm saying hi to everyone in chat. I see Chill's room. Hi. Hello. I'm pretty sure I saw Sorteresa and Marcus. Loving the butt. Thank you. I tried really hard.
Glad that they did that. They really needed to prove that this was a live stream and not a pre-recorded thing. So it's good that they just read something from the chat.
Yep. So what is coming in 7.2? So we'll give you the list right out of the gates. So at the very top, we have a new planet coming to the game called Runic. So you're going to get to hear all about that today. The storyline for 7.2, actually the name of the game update is Showdown on Runic. So you're going to learn about what's happening in the Crit Path story, the new characters that you're going to be meeting or returning characters. After you complete the story, it's also going to open up into a new daily area with a whole bunch of stuff going on that planet. You'll have the missions and the rewards that are going to come from that as well. Actually, one other thing, I didn't even think about it. We didn't call it out on there, but we also have a world boss coming to Runic as well. Which isn't even on that slide.
Yeah, so with the story part, it's going to open up with Ashley Rule, who is our narrative director, and Robbie Lamb, who is a senior environment artist. And then it will move over to Caitlin and Jay.
Yep.
Because Jay's new to the stream, so yeah.
Yep. And I love that we held right on where it says changes to PvP, because I'm sure no one in chat wants to hear about that. So we're going to talk about what's happening to PvP going forward. So it's quite a big change, some good set of changes coming for you for that as well.
And then a ton of effort, colossal team effort went into the UI UX updates that we'll be showing off today.
Yeah, that's one bullet, but it's a whole lot. So we'll be talking a lot about what's coming there.
Yep. You're going to be hearing from someone new, not necessarily new in terms of if you've read the dev tracker, you've seen
Okay, so far so good.
Make several posts
Clearly,
on the dev tracker.
I think we kind of knew Runic was coming because Charles kind of told us that.
Yep.
I want to see this stuff though. I hope they're actually going to show us some of this stuff, like the UI, UX changes going to PvP.
So we're gonna give you a little
That's
bit
the details that we need.
into what's going to be coming with 7.2.
Also, we need a date.
And we're going to go into Life Day event.
Yep, Life Day's coming back with new rewards, like it does every other winter. And speaking of,
Launching this winter.
I appreciate becoming a member, and I appreciate the donation. Thank you very much.
Winter's
Yes, huge cock. Nice.
I don't know when winter starts.
It's whenever it's really cold.
Yeah, it's not, sometimes
really-
not in
really, really
Texas,
cold.
but yep. So there you go. We're gonna go through all of that. We'll get through all of those sections, but before any of that, free stuff.
I mean, it's a live stream, so therefore we have some cool stuff to give away. Make sure you head over to SWTOR.com/redeem-code for a Gallo Stronghold deco. The code is lots galore. Easy to remember.
Well, if you're a decoration fanatic, go for it.
Capitalization does not matter, so make sure that you redeem this before November 16th.
Yep, get your free Gallo deco.
Oh, did they say
Right.
launching in the winter?
So Musco and I are going
I missed that
to
part.
pass the mics over to Ashley and Robbie, so
Yep.
don't go anywhere.
Yep. So
Be
just
right back.
so just like last time, there'll be like a slight break while we are literally, because we are physically in a room doing a live stream. We're gonna hand off the mics to Ashley and Robbie, and Jackie and I will be back. Don't worry, you'll be hearing from us later.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
They are physically in a room doing a live stream. It's hilarious that he felt the need to say it. Brilliant. Brilliant. At least they take it in good stride. Yeah, 7.2 gearing. So they're going to change gearing. They're going to do some PvP revamp stuff, more story, a new daily area attached to a new planet called Runic. Okay, so that sounds good. But let us see it. Is it enough? Is it enough to make up for the shit show that was Legacy of the Sith in 2022? Was it enough? And honestly, it's only going to be enough if there's a shit ton of story that comes with it. If they deliver enough story with the update, they'll knock it out the park. But we need to see it. We need to see it. If we had to hold them to what they've just said in that list, we need to see it.
I am Ashley Rule. I
Also,
am
yes,
the
Josh.
director
Hi,
of
by the way.
Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I am joined by.
Hi, I'm Robbie Lamb. I'm a senior environment artist on SWTOR, and we're here to talk about the planet of Runic today.
So a little bit of a recap for
Senior
Showdown
environment
Story Packer.
artist.
Uh,
If there is
we are
any
taking
dev to
from the
appreciate in this game,
events where Hedda Cole
this guy.
attacked, Shay's flag
imagine trying to code
and
or
Shay's
make
been
any
at
type of
the time
asset for Star Wars: The Old
Hedda Cole,
Republic when you
and
wasn't a
she has
founder
cornered her
at the
and
beginning.
found her base
That's this
on the
guy.
planet
What a
of
legend.
And so now,
What a
asking
Chad.
your help to,
This guy is
take
MVP
down
today.
Hedda Cole. The planet of Runic is completely new to SWTOR, and to talk a little bit more about the artistic inspiration behind Runic, Robbie, I'll give you a little bit of detail on that.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. So Runic itself is a dry, arid planet. It often does have deep river valleys that are cut through it as well. Let's see, where do I just... yeah, sorry, dry river valley planet. It does have valleys cut through it as well. There's a lot of initially a mining facility that it was used as amongst the first inhabitants. As you can see, we took a lot of reference from...
Is this the same game?
Canyon. We took places from mining facilities out of Arizona for copper, the Colorado Plateaus. As we mentioned earlier, it is a dry desert planet. However, it does rain. Not often, but when it does, it does.
Okay,
pour.
on the inside you can
Thus,
really tell
you'll find a lot
it's
of
the Old
water,
Republic.
river valley canyons, as well as lush foliage, such as lambro growing in the area. There is one downside
Wow.
to the planet is that it does have a giant nebula that encases and hides the planet, which has caused a ship to have crashed into the atmosphere. And we're here to explore it and see where we go from there.
Yeah. I love
Ashley?
that. I love that contrast of the desert and the greenery. Everything together looks really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so Hedda Cole. Found
Wow,
it and
I
sent it
was
over
not
basically,
expecting that.
one, because
That
there
looked
was a lot of
really
stuff left
fucking
over
nice.
from an abandoned mining
That looked
operation, so
clean.
something that they could use to build
It
the
looked
base.
detailed.
Also, it is very obscured by the nebula,
And it
the
wasn't
nebula
too
was
garish.
to land or find the planet.
Hit everything
It has
in the
some
right
damage,
places. That
so
looked
she,
amazing.
helped to
Wow,
take
I
down
stand
the
by
planet
everything I
to
said about this
secure the
guy
win.
right before we saw that
So
clip.
we're gonna show
Still the
little bit
MVP.
of the
Amazing.
beginning of the story. Not too many spoilers. Just a little introduction of Shay approaching the Alliance commander to talk about what their next step is. After we show this clip, we'll be passing it over to Jay Watanabe to talk about the friends and foes you'll be meeting along the way on your journey to Runic.
So that's Runic. Hedda Cole's base of operations?
That's right. I also managed to piece together more about her. One thing doesn't track. She moves like a Mando, fights like she's been trained by the best, but I couldn't find a clan affiliation. I'm certain she's one of us, but it's strange.
I'm gonna say one thing now. If this footage turns out to be edited in any way possible, and I get into the game and it doesn't look like this, with my amazing PC, I am gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed, man. I'm gonna be so pissed.
My name is Jay Watanabe, and
I guess we're going to something else now.
The events on Runic, with a lot of help from the team, and specifically Caitlin and Ashley. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time and patience. Now, I've been with BioWare for about 21 years, if you can believe that. The last 2.5 have been spent on the Old Republic.
It was sorry for you, bro.
When I joined, they asked me if I wanted to sketch out a plot that would, bring back some of these Mandalorian clans we had in the game, but we just hadn't seen for a while. I agreed. I thought that sounds like a great plan. I'll get right on that. And so for today, for Runic, Jackie asked me if I would talk about the enemies and allies you're likely to encounter on Runic. So let's start at the top. The big bad, Field Marshal Hedda Cole. She was first introduced in the Spirit of Vengeance Flashpoint. We don't learn much about her.
Nobody cares about this bitch.
Very good at gathering, let's call them fringe Mandalorian clans under her own banner, which she calls the Hidden Chain. Now, what they did was attack Shae Vizsla's flagship, called the Spirit of Vengeance, hence the name, which was shocking. Shae Vizsla is the official leader of all Mandalorians. She is Mandalore the Avenger. So for someone to attack her flagship, stunning. But Hedda Cole didn't do this alone. She had help. One of those people is a guy named Bask's son. What to say about this guy? He is certainly more interested in making money, credits, rather than risking his own neck. He is in charge of the sort of local chapter of a group called Darmanda, Mercenaries for Hire. He makes deals. He's a survivor. We'll definitely see him on Runic. Someone else who works with Hedda is Rakan. Different character from Bask. He is ruthlessly loyal to Hedda Cole. Why? We're not sure. But one curious fact about Rakan is he is the brother to Sahar. Sahar we met fighting for her life.
Really?
Malgus. She's a very powerful Padawan that is
I had
caught
no
up in all
idea.
these galactic events, and now because of her brother, Mandalorian politics. And we're not sure where she sits in all of this quite yet. Now, moving from enemies to allies, we met two people in the Spirit of Vengeance that we'll meet again on Runic. Jakaya Ordo and his younger brother, Ras Ordo. They're both Mandalorians. Ras was actually the one that accompanied you through the Spirit of Vengeance to help retake that flagship. Now, at the end of the Spirit of Vengeance, just as a note, Shae Vizsla said, you know what? I'm going to go hunt down Hedda Cole myself. I'm going to leave all my duties, my responsibilities in the hands of Jakaya as the arbiter, and I'm going to hunt down Hedda Cole. So Jakaya speaks with Shae Vizsla's.
They're just from the same clan. People join a clan like they can join anything, really. And then they take on the clan name. They're not necessarily related in any way.
We're not to exclude these two, Akavi Spar and Torian Kadera. Torian has a special connection, a surprising connection actually, to what's going on here. Because if you will remember, Hedda Cole made a special point of going after, searching for, and stealing the Kadera family banner from the Spirit of Vengeance. The Spirit of Vengeance was hauling a bunch of Mandalorian relics at the time. Not sure what's going on there. I think the last thing I want to say is to fill in the gaps between the events of the Spirit of Vengeance and Runic. I wrote some stories. The first one was called Seeing Red. It was released earlier this year, I think. And it dealt with Ras and Jakaya dealing with their first major crisis in the Mandalorians after Shae Vizsla was gone on her hunt. I wrote a couple other short stories, which have not been released yet, which deal with Shae Vizsla hunting Hedda Cole. How did you get from the end of Spirit of Vengeance to finding her on Runic? And that's what those short stories deal with. Last thing I want to say is a big thank you to the team. Huge amount of work was put into this. It's always humbling working with such skilled professionals on something like this. And I hope that you enjoy Showdown on Runic, the next chapter in the Mandalorian Civil Wars.
All right. Hello,
Okay.
everyone. My name is Caitlin Sullivan Kelly, and I am the lead writer for Star Wars The Old Republic. I hope you're all enjoying the brief look into what we've been so hard at work on for the story for Game Update 7.2, Showdown on Runic. Thanks to Ashley and Robbie for sharing a couple of the details with us about the environment for Runic and the main story. And of course, thanks to Jay for going through all of the main characters that you're going to meet during the story and getting us hyped up for the short stories that he's written in anticipation for the story. So I'm here today to talk to you all a little bit about the daily area that we're introducing with 7.2. To start off with, let's kick it off with the story arc that's going to be coming in the daily area. So similar to the story that we introduced with 7.1 in the Manon daily area, once you finish the main story on Runic, we're actually going to direct players back to Runic for a 3-mission story arc where players will be assisting Mandalore the Avengers forces on Runic in the aftermath of the main story. They will be helping those forces track down one of Hedda Cole's most ruthless followers, who's conducting some super secret experiments that not even Hedda Cole herself knows about. With the main story, we're kind of following these two super big personalities, these big titans in the form of Shae Vizsla and Hedda Cole. So with this story, we're kind of more leaning into and focusing on the goals and the desires.
Nobody likes Hedda Cole.
And what's super cool about this story arc is all of the characters that you're going to meet are actually fully voiced. So let's let's share a couple of the two that you will meet on this journey. The first one that we've got here is Lane Vizsla. She is the main point of contact for the player during this story arc. Vizsla, yes, a very familiar name. Lane is actually a distant cousin of Shae Vizsla. The two of them share quite a few traits. Lane is also very stubborn, very adamant about...
What do you mean, distant cousin? I literally just explained that being in the same clan doesn't mean you are blood related. Please tell me that the writers know this.
Lane's also a big tinkerer. She has a really keen interest in a lot of Mandalorian technology, especially the Basilisk war droids. And Lane is also a very blunt personality. She has no qualms about letting you know exactly how she feels about something or someone, like her rival, Kur Harangir, who is this gentleman right here. Kur Harangir is actually the main antagonist of the daily area story arc. He is a member of Clan Harangir, who is a new clan that we're introducing as some of Hedda's followers in 7.2. And Clan Harangir is a very old name. They're a very wealthy clan, a very arrogant clan, and Kur Harangir is kind of the embodiment of that arrogance that is the epitome of that clan. Kur also, like Lane, has an interest in technology, but Unlike Lane, he doesn't really care about preserving the special technology for the future generations. For Kerr, all he cares about is having the biggest and the best, the most powerful, the strongest, and the most expensive toys.
Nobody
so
cares.
In addition to the daily area story, now that we've got a new daily area, we're also going to have a new reputation track, which we are calling the Mandalorian Tratade on Runuk. Tratade is Mandoa for forces, and it's basically Mandalore the Avenger, Shae Vizsla's forces, who are going up against Hedda Cole. As we mentioned before in the presentation, Runuk is a very inhospitable, very hard to colonize place. But Hedda Cole is doing her darndest to set up a base of operations there on the back of some existing infrastructure that was left behind. And it'll be up to the player to help the Mandalorian Tratade
Same here, Josh.
keep Hedda Cole from digging in too deep in her foothold. So as you complete different missions, including the daily area story arc on Runuk, you'll earn more and more influence with the Mandalorian Tratade. We've got 2 new legacy titles that will be available in 7.2 as you move up the track. At friend rank,
yeah, I
we have
noticed
the
that,
Mandalore
Luke.
Tamad,
Appreciate that,
which
man.
means
Thank you.
ally of
Thank you.
Mandalore. And when you complete the track, you will unlock the legacy title Pargila Gaetik, which is roughly translates to Triumphant Story, which I think is a fitting title for actually completing legend rank of the reputation track. And on the reputation vendor, we'll have a couple of character titles available as well that you can unlock. Those are Champion of the Avenger,
no
which
one
is
cares
to
about
recognize
titles,
your help in helping Mandalore the Avenger, Shae Vizsla, keep things going on Runuk. And there's also Celebrated and Remembered, which is kind of a nod.
This is where SWTOR gets its identity crisis. It says it's not. It says that it's a story-driven MMO, but it wants to reward you with titles. Would a story-driven MMO reward you with a title?
Most of these
I don't feel like it would.
Be, available through the reputation vendor, but a couple of these will be planetary
Title is
drops as
worthless.
well. And a few of those examples are what you see here: the Runican Mushroom Tree Stronghold decoration, and the Runican Lambro decoration, which is this little cactus-like plant here. That's a really cool stronghold decoration. A couple of more previews of some stronghold decorations you can get from the reputation vendor. As we mentioned earlier, there was a mining expedition on Runuk that ended in disaster, and as the workers fled, they were forced to abandon a lot of their equipment, which you'll see as you're exploring Runuk. And we've also are offering them in the form of these stronghold decorations. We've also got a Mandalorian
some
shuttle
people want
decoration
titles.
because you'll be fighting and assisting a lot of different Mandalorians.
What bugs me is when they pitch them as the selling
Mini
point.
pets, armor, and this really cool Wetlands Mudhorn mount. So what else is coming in the daily area in 7.2? We're going to be offering a wide variety of repeatable daily, heroic, and weekly missions. We're also introducing a new slate of planetary achievements that are going to encourage you to explore, take on the biggest and baddest enemies, and complete some of these repeatable missions. There's going to be a new Datacron puzzle on Runuk. And one thing that I think is really cool that we started doing in 7.1 on the Manon daily area was the gameplay buffs that you got as you completed the daily area story arc. We actually allowed you to unlock a new buff.
Malgus
after you
just sat in
complete
a
each
prison.
mission. And we're keeping
Have we
that
got a
same
guard in
idea
here?
for 7.2. We're just changing the concept a little bit and how
Nobody's
you unlock
changed my
these.
diaper in a
Now,
while.
after you finish the main story on Runuk, you'll be offered what we're calling Mandalorian Relic quests. They're basically a treasure hunt. And some of Hedda Cole's followers have actually kind of stolen these Mandalorian relics and brought them with them to Runuk. And once you completed the main story, like I said, you'll have these quests. You'll be charged with hunting down Hedda Cole's followers, defeating them, capturing the relics back for the true Mandalorians, and bringing them back to base. Once you do, you'll get a super
I think
cool
she's just
gameplay
very
buff that'll
nervous.
make things a little bit easier for you as
She's
you're doing your
definitely
quests in the
nervous in
daily
front of the
area.
camera.
And another really cool addition is we are going to have a new weekly world boss on Runuk. Yeah! Who we're calling Kithral, the Flame in Darkness. It's a super cool lizard creature that is got magma and char all over him. That ill-fated mining expedition that I mentioned before dug a little too deep. They
Yeah, I'm
made a
skeptical,
cavern
Josh.
and they found something that they really didn't like. So that'll be available to do some cool weekly quests. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to hand it back over to Jackie and Musco to talk about PvP changes in 7.2.
All right, bring it back with the PvP changes. Let's see. Fucking blow our minds, alright? Do something drastic. Don't do something boring. Oh, here's a new stronghold, a new PvP stronghold. No, we don't want that. Do something awesome. Fucking blow our minds. Because I am severely disappointed so far. Yeah, I'm really sad that we didn't get any news at all about the Darth Malgus story, the Darth Null story. Oh yeah, Mighty. They started off very good, and then it just kind of went to shit, not gonna lie. All of this content should have been here like 7.1. It should have been here sooner. Much, much, much sooner. It could just be too little, too late. So we'll see what happens with this next segment. Fuck Malgus, Star Wars is all about Mandalorians. Oh shit, you right. Yeah, I know that feeling, Adelka. I hope I pronounced your name slightly okay there. The Mandalorian story arc is filler. Yep. Yep, and it's not even good filler. I was really looking forward to the Mandalorian stuff when they first talked about it ages ago, and even before Legacy of the Sith. But then we saw it, and it was just boring. They did it in, what was it, 6.2? It was literally an entire expansion ago, 6.2. When they did Echoes of Oblivion / Spirit of Vengeance Flashpoint. You guys remember that?
Alright, we're
A
back.
long ass time ago.
So, me, Jackie again, joined by Musco, and we're going to be talking about the PvP changes that will be coming with 7.2. I know a lot of you are incredibly eager for this part of the stream, so before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I just want to preface this. It's really important for you all to understand the philosophies
Maybe leave,
and
guy.
the reasoning and like our goals for what inspired the changes for PvP. So Musco's going to take the bulk of it.
Yep.
And then,
Yeah, so kind of as Jackie said, when we kind of approach anything from the design side, we really want to make sure that we have some pretty clear goals in mind of what we're trying to achieve. And if you think of each of these three goals that are on the screen as kind of like a Venn diagram, the things that we're going to talk through that are coming with our revamp to PvP are going to hit 1, 2, or all of these changes and some of the changes that we're making. So just talk through them really quickly. Increase PvP participation. I think this is something that all of you would agree with. The more players that are playing PvP, the better quality matches, the shorter queue times, etc.
This
We want to
is going to
encourage
be
positive
good.
play, and this is kind of, and you'll see kind of some of the changes we're doing to achieve this, but there's just a few things that were kind of a part of the existing PvP gameplay types that could not necessarily be healthy behaviors that we wanted people to do, and we didn't create great systems necessarily to encourage you to do the things that were positive in the nature of PvP. And last and certainly not least is ensure PvP is rewarding. Jokes aside, obviously playing PvP is its own reward. A lot of you will play PvP every day and lots of matches because that's the fun of it, but also we want to make sure that you're getting rewards. For
I wish my camera was on right now.
Here, I'm talking about, well, you'll see, but we want to make sure that it's rewarding. So what exactly is the PvP revamp? Let's get into it. First, we're condensing our queues. So before, right now, as a SWTOR of you know it, we have unranked and we have ranked. Unranked can participate in war zones and arenas. Ranked is, of course, just in 4v4 arenas. With 7.2, those are no longer there. So there is no unranked play. There is no ranked play. Now there's just two distinct queues you can queue for. You can queue for 8v8 and you can queue for 4v4. And just like before, you can queue in for those as either solo or as a group. Those aren't distinct queues, though. You'll just be queuing into the 4v4 and 8v8 and then be getting match made based on that. So what this really helps with
ranked
is
players.
it'll help drive participation by ensuring that we're funneling
No more ranked. What?
Right now, obviously, for anyone that has played, especially like ranked in the past, you'd find times of day when there weren't a lot of people playing and those types of things. And so we wanted to try to avoid those problems by, again, kind of condensing the queues together. It encourages positive play because you...
How do we encourage positive play? I know. Let's remove ranked PvP.
Someone out there who just loves them.
To be fair, that's pretty sound logic.
Warzone pops, but you queue and you end up in a 4v4 arena. Now you either need to stick out the match, you maybe don't want to participate in it, and you may leave the match or do something. And so again, just trying to make sure that players are doing positive things while they're playing. But none of this addresses rewards, which is obviously something that is important. So let's talk about the rewards you'll be getting as part of this. So here's what our new seasonal structure looks like. And again, we're going to use the word season because it is, in a sense, a season, but don't confuse it with how ranked seasons used to operate. So all PvP players. So again, once you go into the
doing
PvP
a
queue,
freaking PvP battle pass. That's basically what they're doing.
All participating in the same season. So the first season, which is coming with 7.2, is season 1 of PvP. It's going to operate very similar to Galactic Seasons. So what you're going to do is when you play matches, and you'll get points each match, and by completing missions that you can complete coming off of those matches, you'll be earning PvP points. Those PvP points will then gain you levels. Those levels will unlock a variety of rewards, which we'll be talking about and showing in a second. And that's the seasonal structure. So again, very similar to Galactic Seasons. One thing I've called out there as PvP points is that we're also updating all of our medals. So right now, any of you that play PvP know, let's say you're playing, a sniper and you come in and you hit an
This isn't good news.
4 medals pop because the numbers haven't been adjusted in a long time. So we're kind of going back and making a pass on our medals just to make sure, and again, to kind of encourage you to participate in the war zone. You will need to participate to earn medals. You won't be able to get them quite as easily as you could before, but those medals will also reflect the PvP points that you earn. I know I can't see chat because I'm not looking down at it, but I have to imagine the one in the middle is something that's drawing some attention. There's no caps on any of your subscription models for the amount of war zones you can play. So previously there was caps on free-to-play players where they could only play 10 a week. Now there's no caps. You can play as many PvP matches as you want, and anyone of any subscription status can participate in all of the rewards for PvP seasons. So if you want to be a free-to-play player and you can still earn every single reward that's in the new PvP seasonal structure.
Okay, first of all, fuck the devs for it taking 10 years for them to do that. But finally, that is actually good. You've got no longer have a cap on how many PvP matches you can do. That is good. But fuck them for taking so long.
PvP tokens. So if you have ranked PvP tokens, spend them because they're going away in 7.2. And this new PvP currency will only be earned through PvP seasons, and you'll be able to purchase another set of rewards that's going to be added on a new vendor that will also get updated every season to purchase those rewards there as well. And our goal, in case you're curious, because obviously with ranked seasons, I think we were pretty inconsistent about exactly how long they ran and over what periods of time. We're definitely aiming for consistency here, so our goal is going to be to run 3 seasons a year and we'll talk specifics about that once we get a little bit closer and into the season. But again, goal is to run 3 seasons a year at pretty much identical lengths.
I did see a question in chat asking about the PvP tokens. So
yeah, what was the question specifically?
What's happening to them?
What's happening? Yeah, so I called it out a little bit, but yeah, if you have ranked PvP tokens today, they are going away. They're not going to be converted into the new currency or anything. That's starting fresh. So if you have ranked PvP tokens today, spend them. We're going to message this to make sure it's clear so no one misses that, but definitely spend them before 7.2.
That's stupid. Should just be converting them.
I also saw a question about like what rewards can be expected.
Yeah, so
here we go.
Yeah, so we'll start into it here, and then we'll actually show you the full list on the next slide for the most part. So this is what, and again, you'll notice this is very similar to the Galactic Seasons UI and the way that it functions.
I already hate the Galactic Seasons pass. I hate the actual system of a battle pass. Whoever came up with it, honestly, I hate you. The fact that they're doing a PvP one now, I know some people are going to be really down for this, but I'm not. Are you going to be able to advance through this with cartel coins? I bet you are, right?
How to claim your rewards here, etc. So what's on the reward track?
Lots of stuff.
So I'm gonna we'll just let it sit here, soak in, so you can read it. But let me give you just a high level philosophy of kind of what you're going to expect, and I'll talk a little bit about what's on the reward track, which again is on the screen, and what's on the vendor. So from the reward track, what you'll notice is there are 2 different armor sets here. So you'll be able to get 2 full armor sets just from completing the reward track. There's also going to be 2 armor sets that are going to be on the seasonal reward vendor as well. So there's technically 4 armor sets you could earn during the course of the season. The reward track is also going to have a variety of titles. It's going to have a variety of
This is not content for PvP. They have tricked you into believing that this is content for PvP.
For additional rewards as well.
Yep. This is what they look like.
And this is what they look like.
Yeah.
So the one on the right, those are the 2 armor sets that you can earn from the reward track. You'll notice they're similar. One of them is the base armor set, and then later in the track you can earn that armor set with upgraded VFX on it. Same thing on the left, 2 different armor sets of similar style that one has and one does not have VFX. And again, those are purchasable on the PvP rewards vendor.
Someone in chat said, You can get TBD. I want TBD.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Worth noting, in case you don't know, first off, I appreciate the joke. TBD means to be determined. And so you'll start to see some of that fleshed out on PTS, but we'll be having more details about the very specific decos that you'll be earning in the coming weeks as well. Yep.
Yep. So
Exactly,
Oh, wait,
Soydora.
there's more.
You see it.
So obviously we can hold on this slide for a second while you digest that. We just threw a lot of information about you for the PvP revamp, but just to give you just the high level rundown again. So ranked and unranked as you knew them today aren't there anymore. Now what we have is just 2 queues of 4v4 and 8v8 to kind of condense everybody into the same
Totally agree,
queues.
Trumis.
And while playing in there, you're going to notice some other structural updates within the PvP revamp of things like updated medals and stuff to really kind of encourage you to participate in those modes as intended. And then coming out of that, there's a whole new seasonal reward structure to give you really a lot more rewards than we've typically been giving to PvPers, I think. And that's going to run over ideally 3 seasons a year that you'll see over time. So that's the PvP revamp. I'm sure there'll be more questions, and Jack can pull them out as we go. But that's not it. There's more. There's one more thing still for PvPers.
Yeah, this is really exciting. I love it. So we have a new 4v4 PvP map. It's called the Onderon Palatial Ruins. It's absolutely beautiful environment.
Show is it then?
Really knocked it out of the park with this one. And when I asked them, I was like, so what was the inspiration for this particular map? And they said, what would an Olympic venue look like on Onderon? And so it kind of gives you a glimpse into an area in Onderon where players don't typically have a lot of insight into. So I think it's beautiful.
It's too big. Ranged players are gonna absolutely slaughter you in this map. They've got vertical advantage, distance, open ground. It's too big. It's too big. Rest in peace, melee players.
Isn't that so pretty? It's so pretty. I love it. I thought it was so
Why is that rest in peace for melee players?
One special note.
There was no buildings. Melee players need buildings. That's why there's those little 2 huts on the Tatooine Outlaws Den map, because the designers of that map understood that you need buildings as a melee player. You need something to fully break line of sight, something that isn't just a pillar that someone can change angle on.
For 8v8, but will I be queued for both? So again, one of the changes that we really wanted to differentiate, especially again, kind of looking at the lessons between unranked and ranked, and one of the things we could see in unranked is because the unranked queue could populate you into a war zone or an arena, we wanted to separate those two because they are dramatically different gameplay types. And so no, if you queue for 4v4, you will only get placed into an arena. If you queue for a war zone, you will only get placed in a war zone in an 8v8 match. If you want to queue for both, go ahead, and then you can kind of look at it as kind of the way the old queue used to work. But no, we are separating them by war zones, so 8v8 gameplay, and arenas 4v4 gameplay. Yep.
All right. So
and we know you'll have tons of feedback. Been watching, kind of scrolling through chat. Again, we'll talk about PTS later in the stream. It's going to be coming to PTS. Obviously, I can only imagine with the forums, you're already there posting your feedback now. That's great. We want to hear what you think, because obviously this is some pretty big changes coming to PvP that we've been talking about for a long time. So, yep.
Yep. And those are the changes for PvP. And just as a reminder, we have a Stronghold deco of Colonel Gallo for you. So make sure you go to SWTOR.com/redeem-code.
Well,
redeem the code
that was it, boys.
Galore. Capitalization does not matter. I
And
know the
gals.
question comes up quite often, but it actually does not matter. And make sure you redeem it before November 16th. And yeah, tweet at SWTOR. I want to see where y'all putting this deco in your strongholds. I love seeing your strongholds. I really do.
One question, I've seen a bunch of different flavors of this question, so I'll just kind of answer it. People being like, can you queue for this mode as with 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 8 players? The intention is that you can queue, there isn't like a solo queue for 4v4 or a group queue for 8v8. You can queue for your group size into any of the queues, and then matchmaking will try to pair you with other, like if you're a pre-made, it will try to pair you with other pre-mades, etc. I think we're probably going to talk a little bit about some matchmaking stuff we've been working on too down the line, but yes, you can queue to your group size in either mode. There isn't a locked fixed set in either one of the queues. Yep.
Oh, cool. So
Needs to be clarification on that. So you can create an 8-man operations group and queue into an 8-man.
However, he is not in the office with us. He is going to have a pre-recorded video, but he's going to be going into the gearing changes coming in.
Guilds are going to start Roffle stomping the PvP.
Hey everyone, I'm Bryant Wood, a systems designer on Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm here to tell you about the gearing and progression changes coming in patch 7.2. In 7.2, we'll be increasing the power ceiling for the second time. This means you'll be able to obtain stronger gear by playing. Here are the new power ceilings for 7.2.
I guess there's something about
Noble,
gear.
Elite, and Supreme Decurion gear from Conquest and Flashpoints, as well as Tianese, Kalumi, and Rakata gear from Operations, will all be upgradable to item rating 336. Thirsian gear, available from PvP, will be upgradable to item rating 332. There will be no changes to the R4 anomaly gear released with 7.1, but we will be gathering feedback around that gearing system in the forums. How about those new forums?
Yeah,
Next, in
that's
7.2,
stupid.
we'll be doing our first increase to the power floor. The power floor is the lowest item rating given in what we consider endgame. Power floor increases are done to reduce the time required for new players to catch up and participate in the endgame community. They'll happen
Stupid
as we
forum
continue
shout
to raise
out.
the power ceiling, but will happen less often than ceiling increases. Right now, the power floor is item rating 318 for PvP and 320 for PvE content. Patch 7.2 will see this item rating increased to 322 for PvP and 324 for PvE. We'll also be increasing the gear rewarded from the Legacy of the Sith story missions to item rating 322. While these are the biggest changes coming to gear in 7.2, they're not everything. Check out the forums for a more detailed look at the upcoming changes, including new legendary implants, currency conversions, and making it easier to identify upgradable gear. I'll see you all another time. I'm helping prep ingredients for this year's Feast of Prosperity.
That was super fucking cringe. Don't ever do anything like that
so
again.
Brian's going to be posting later on sometime this week with a gearing post, and also somewhat related. I know some people have some questions about class balances. You'll be hearing from either Christorel or Shabir Dillon. They'll be making a post in the forums as well sometime this week about class balance.
I agree, Zeta girl.
So honestly, maybe the biggest section we have to talk about today, I don't know, it's all big today. There's a lot, a lot of stuff. So UI UX update.
Really?
So one, we've broken it down to the acronym, but just in case for some reason you don't know what that means. So UI meaning user interface, so the things you interface with on your screen, and then UX meaning user experience. So this is like, think of like quality of life in the game related to, in a lot of cases, the user interface, but sometimes in other cases, other things as well. So we haven't actually told you what those features are, so let's talk about them because there's a whole bunch of stuff. So top of the list, map revamp. This is a bunch of different things that are crazy, and I'm really excited to talk to you about them. So we'll get to those in a second. We're going to show you what those are. Updated tooltips. This is just quality of life. One little quality of life improvement for the tooltips you know and love.
We will also show you that.
We will also show you that. Customizable utility bar. You'll say, I don't know what that means. Great. We're going to explain it and we're going to show it to you in a second, but it's more UI customization for you. And the thing that I am so excited to have on a screen coming into the game for you, colorblind mode is coming to SWTOR in 7.2. It's an accessibility feature we have been wanting to get in for a really long time, and the team has really crushed it in getting it to you for 7.2. So very, very excited. And we'll show you that too. So you'll be able to see what that looks like as well.
A little bit of that with the colorblind mode with the icons wheel?
Yeah, right. We obviously started taking stuff like that into account when we were looking at things like the combat style icons and stuff, making sure that we had colorblind presets. So now your whole screen will be adjustable for colorblind. Deconstruct and delete window. This is basically self-explanatory, but basically we're adding delete into the deconstruct window, but we'll show it to you anyway, just so you know what it looks like. Okay, so before we press the start, let's talk about what's on the screen because you may notice some changes. So if I can draw your attention to the bottom right of the screen, you're going to say, that minimap looks different, and you would be correct. So this is an update to the visuals of our minimap to kind of reflect a little bit of our new style that we've kind of been moving towards.
Another pointless change intended to give you the facade that they've done something.
How do I zoom in and out? So if you look right below the minimap, you're going to see that bar, which has those radial icons on it. That, my friends, is the customizable utility bar, which we'll also be talking about in a second. So before we push play, the very first feature that we're going to be showing you, we're calling it our pop-out map. And you know what? We'll just play the video and you'll see it in a second. So imagine if you wanted to be able to see more detail.
Appreciate you, Hella.
How about that?
Isn't that so cool? Sorry.
So this is basically, we've taken your map, press M and pull up the map. And one of the ways you can view it, your regular map's not gone, don't worry. You can just pull it up as a partially transparent full-size map on the side of your screen. It has all of the same functionality as kind of your map and mini-map combined. So you can change filters. You can adjust scale, as you just saw by clicking there, and you can change filters. The other thing you might notice too is that your map, you can now see underneath Fog of War. We kind of had put a partial version of this out in the past, but so this is, again, you can.
That's going to be annoying to get used to. Also, I know some people are going to be like, oh my god, that looks so cool. I can't wait to use that map. Is nobody noticing that ever since they changed the dev team around, they're literally just taking ideas from Final Fantasy? Isn't this just a Final Fantasy map? They've done it with the inventory, the gear system, and now they're doing it with the map.
All of that can be opened, adjusted in the interface editor, so you can adjust how big it is on your screen. I think you can even adjust its transparency. So fully customizable for the pop-out map. So excited for this feature.
Other note, I believe.
Okay, so when one of the lead developers says that they're really excited for the new map, they're definitely lacking in terms of content. It's like when they were trying to tell you that, oh, we've got a new inventory. Oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. Like, what? It's a new inventory? Really? Sure?
Thing that you're giving us feedback on, like what should be the hotkey to make the pop-out map change from the mini map and those types of things. So yeah, that's a good call out of things we'll be looking at on PTS.
The chat's going crazy.
Yeah,
I love it.
So next up is tooltips. Question mark? Is this tooltips?
Yes.
I couldn't remember the order. So here's the tooltips you know and love. It's popping up above your mini map in the fixed position it was before. Well,
if you don't want that,
if you don't want them there, what if instead you could not have them attached to the mini map? So you check that box off, and then now instead
we could already do that
to your mouse.
Mouse pointer.
Minor change, but a huge quality of life improvement. So
all right,
that's how you would prefer to have tooltips. Again, you still have.
That's a good change. That should literally be there by default. Just make that default. Remove it from the map. Make that default. That's a good change. And again, stop using shit like this as a freaking selling point. No one cares about this minuscule bullshit. This is the shit that you put in the forum post. In the dev stream, you tell us all the awesome stuff. And right now you're doing the exact same thing you did in the last stream. You're going through all the little nitty-gritty bullshit features that you've made and making it out as if it's new stuff. This is pathetic. It's absolutely... I can't believe they're spending, like, this much time going through the fucking interface. The interface. This is a joke. An actual joke.
Say, I don't need to know what time it is. I'm going to play as late as I want. We'll just turn the clock off. We're not the boss of you. Don't worry about what time it is, right? So all of that is customizable. Again, you can turn the icons on and off kind of as you see fit. And again, you can see that it customizes both the top and bottom versions of the utility bar.
Oh, this is so cool.
Really, really excited about this feature. Again, it was kind of a nice little knock-on from the changes we made to the mini-map, but I honestly think this kind of cleans up the screen space quite a bit. And so very, very excited for this. I think one of the cool things, too, I think I even saw that you can even put, like, dividers as opposed to just icons and stuff, right? So, like, if you're like me, who's real... I would say OCD, but like real particular about the order of things in your bars, you have a lot of flexibility. So very, very excited for this.
This one I'm super duper excited for.
Yeah.
Hype.
Go ahead. Okay.
Get that hype up. Colorblind mode, baby!
Yep. So there are 3 types of colorblind mode that are coming. You can see them right here. It's Protanopia, Deuteranopia, and Triptanopia. I believe I pronounced them correctly, but someone can tell me if I'm wrong. But you can see them. Here you go. This is them in action. It is just this simple to switch between 3 colorblind modes. It happens on the fly. Yeah. There's really not a lot to say about this, but there's so much to say about it because it really is just such an exciting thing to finally come into SWTOR. So.
Yeah, it's all game, but I believe that a little minor note is that I don't think it applies in loading screens.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's like so much happening at once in that very short amount of time, so you might not see it apply to loading screens, but everywhere else in the game.
Interesting.
You absolutely see colorblind mode.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So
Luke.
excited.
I made notes.
Appreciate, man.
Well done, Jackie.
Appreciate it, super
This
chat.
isn't a video, but this is what it is. When you pop up the deconstruct window, we've now added another section for delete. So this would be if you have a bunch of stuff, just an example of, let's say, you really want to pull a helmet down to customize your appearance, and you pop the whole armor set out of collections, and you just now need to delete it instead of drag, drop, okay, drag, drop, okay. You can just, similar to the old deconstruct functionality, right click it or drag and drop them in there. And when you click that button in the bottom middle, it will do whatever is relevant. So if it can be deconstructed or deleted, it will do the appropriate action for those items. No changes to the actual deconstruct functionality, but basically we've just added mass delete as another added feature as well.
First time chatter, all caps. Oh my God, delete window. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for people, depending on the things that you engage with, sometimes you really just need to delete stuff and you really don't want to do it one at a time. So this is, again, just another one of those nice little small quality of life improvements that I think really does a lot for your day-to-day gameplay.
Can we do that for real life? I need that for all the
Mass man.
In my place.
I cannot help you with that. No, I can't.
Womp womp.
Yep.
All right.
So that is all of the UI UX stuff. Again, just to recap, we have map changes to the mini map and the pop-up map. For the whole map revamp that has the knock-on effects to the utility window, which is customizable both top and bottom. We have updates to unpinning tooltips and having them on your mouse pointer, added mass delete to deconstruct, and last but not least, colorblind mode.
Yeah.
Just so much stuff coming from the UI UX team. They really crushed at this update. I'm really excited for all of you to get your hands on all of this on PTS, which I know I keep saying and we'll talk about at the end of the stream. But that's enough for me talking. I'm going to step out for a minute and let Brad come in and talk to you about the cool stuff that's coming to the cartel market. And then I'll be back to talk about Life Day and wrap things up.
Yep.
The cartel market?
Yep, I'll be right back.
Sneak peek at the cartel market items. Okay, if you guys want to see the cartel market items, then you can go ahead and go and check that out. But I do not care, so I will not be continuing to watch because that's the last segment. If you want to check that out, go click that link. Alright. Okay. So, for the most part here, they really need to work on their preparation and being organized for the stream. As I was saying, some of the selling points they were going for are really not points they should be going for, which really does show you how dried up the content is. Yeah. Let's see what you guys think. Let me read chat. Also, belief, if you're not going to be a funny troll, then stop, bro. Funny trolls only. None of these are bad changes, but it seems like they're trying to make the point of their update. Obviously it isn't, but that's what it feels like. Yeah, see, like, I agree with that, Josh. Definitely not bad changes. A lot of them are pointless and non-necessary. But again, that would be fine, like, if they wasn't trying to pitch them as some selling point to the patch. Like, that's the sort of stuff that needs to be in the forum post. And not in the stream. Yeah, they do steal content from each other, MMOs. That's very true. Scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yep, absolutely. I think this anniversary is going to be, let's extend it to next year because reasons. Yeah, see, this is the great concern now, right? Because they're going to drop this content 7.2 presumably at winter. So that's going to be like an early December release if we're lucky. Might even be like a mid-December release. We'll see how that goes, right? They said winter, Josh. So I'm assuming December. But that means we're not going to see any more content until like halfway through next year, which is the biggest concern for me. I think next year is going to be one of the worst ever for Star Wars The Old Republic. I think it's going to be very dry for content. I'm very much hoping that the story that they are releasing isn't focused too much on the Mandalorian stuff. I hope they do give us like a really good nugget worth of like the Darth Malgus stuff and the Darth Null stuff. Because if they do just kind of sidetrack us and send us on a freaking goose chase with Heta Kol and the other Darmander, then that's actually going to be pretty disappointing, because I don't find their storyline interesting at all. Obviously, Shea Vizsla's a badass, but we're not getting much of Shea Vizsla. I've got a sneaky suspicion that she's probably going to die soon anyways. I mean, good changes. PvP changes are questionable, I'll have to see how that plays out and see how people react to it. It's quite funny, to be honest. But yeah, I'm definitely worried about there being a dry patch next year. But let's hope that the story that comes out this year will be enough to quaint that first. And then hopefully soon after that, we'll have a new Star Wars game altogether, because a new Star Wars game is due to come out. We get the next Fallen Order game, right? Jedi Survivor. We get that next year at some point. But I think something else is coming out too. Try and cheese the release dates, man. Yeah. I'd be slightly skeptical about them delaying it as well. The Netflix-style KOTOR and KOTOR chapter period was better than this. I totally agree. They need to go back to that. They are genuinely missing a trick. Like, if they made the game entirely free to play, like you can play all content for free, barring the latest expansion, and then you just pay for the latest expansion that comes out. You pay like $20, and that's it. Honestly, they're missing a trick. They would rake it in. Do you think there will be a time when a new class gonna come out? I think they've teased it. It's definitely something they're gonna do, but when it comes, no idea. What it will be, no idea. Will it mess up the class balancing? Probably. I think it's just a matter of when. They're definitely gonna do it. Every time someone spoke over a female binary player with more than one sentence, and I'm so ripped right now. Yo, I'm ripped, bro. Free to brilliant hidden palm. Brilliant. See, Ubelief. Read Hidden Palm's message in the chat right now. That's how you be a funny troll. That is a funny comment right there. Alright, learn from the best. Engine is dog shit. You can only do so much with it. It holds them back. Well, is that what a good developer would tell you? Or is that what a limited developer would tell you? You know? You want your developers to be going further than saying to you, yeah, we can't do this because of this. That sucks. You don't ever want them to say that. But yeah, you are right. At least we'll learn more about Sahara in this update. It's the only Legacy of the Sith character we're really learning about. That's kind of true. I kind of went balls deep with the Republic characters, I think, and made the Imperial characters less interesting this time around. But, yeah. Alright, any final questions, guys? Anyone have something to say in the chat? Before we wrap things up here. I need to go find some Sudafed or something. 6 months, so depressing. Yeah. I'm going to be playing some of that Horizon Zero Dawn tonight. I already tried it out yesterday. Pretty cool game. First time playing it. Very cool. Yep, we're probably going to be waiting a while. Does suck. Yeah, definitely Exiled. I'm not always about for like multiplayer games and stuff. I sometimes am. Like I play with one of my friends, Phil, on like Chivalry 2 and some other games. But it's never for long. I don't really know why. I need to make more time. Alright. And that's everything from me tonight, guys. So I appreciate you all hanging out. Thank you for covering the Devstream, mate. No problem. Oh, we had quite a few people here tonight. Just over 60 people here right now. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. It's been cool. I would love to do this again soon, but I'm pretty sure the devs aren't going to be streaming again anytime soon. But when the story content does release, I will stream it. I will stream it as usual so we can hang out, check it out, see what's going on, and react to it. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next time. Peace.